Okay, so I just came down this long, well, it's not that long trail. The car is parked back there in the parking lot. There's a little river off to the side we'll go see in a minute. And behind me, I have found the covered bridge, so let's go take a look at it. Just a little squirrel at the end. Wow, it's been so long since I was walking through a covered bridge, and this is a hefty one. It's too bad that they have graffitied it. All right, I think the project I'm going to start today is cleaning out the garage. I've been doing some work down in the basement on the family room side, getting some stuff organized and cleaned up and put away. But the garage is a whole nother story because I've been just collecting things all summer long. It's been way too hot. And, you know, as soon as you open up the overhead door so you have space to move around, it's just way too hot. So it's been a habit to just drop it here, drop it there. We'll take care of it later, unpack something, we'll come back to it later. And then, you know, life happens in between. So I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you the mess that I've got to tackle. It's probably going to take longer than today. It's probably going to go into easily tomorrow, you know, and then maybe future days, but hopefully we'll get a good head start today and tomorrow. So here goes. So heading from the family room into the garage. I've got a suitcase that needs to be put away with the other suitcases that it nests inside of. I've got solar lights that we're still storing for where they're going to go eventually someday. My recycling is backing up, but that's going out to the dump today. So all the recycling is piled up. Over on my workbench side, I've got tools sitting out, pieces of wood, paintbrush drying, scissors I need to clean, seed potatoes I got to figure out what to do with, duct tape that has a project for the greenhouse. That'll be in a future video. Normally I don't keep trash bags in the garage, but the trash can is full outside and I'm still adding some trash to these, so it's temporary. My Swedish flower paint that's still in this bucket, I'm gonna have to go down to the store and get one of the plastic buckets with the storage lids to store it long term, because saran wrap's not gonna cut it, so I gotta get a bucket for that. And then in the distance, Halloween and fall stuff that got pulled out and the boxes are still sitting there. Got a DeWalt shop vac still sitting in its box, a bunch of other things, storage shelves that aren't being used properly. I've got camping gear that was on top of the fridge, but now some of the bins have been put down because I was looking for something but didn't have time to put them away. So yeah, gotta deal with all this and get these storage shelves properly packed the way they were meant to be packed, and probably a lot of stuff has to go. I've been wanting to sort through this for a long time. There's stuff that we don't use, stuff we don't need, and I don't like to store stuff just to have it for no reason. So under the stairs, saving a box. I gotta remember what this box is for. I think I'm saving it for a reason. Rocking chairs, bags of things, a wind chime that does not chime because it's in the garage with no wind. Gotta figure out what to do with it. Got my linseed oil in that big jug back there and the bucket I work out of, so I've got to get that ready for when we do the fence panels. So yeah, and some tarps that I got to use here soon. Red cooler bags got to go back in the car. It's a dump. Before I get started on the garage, I got to check the oil on my car and likely add oil. My car burns oil, it's so old. It's a 2004 Honda CR-V, over 300,000 miles. Runs great, but eats oil. Yeah, it's pretty low. Took it on a couple long trips and it's due. Oh, okay, that's bad. Oh gosh, look at that right there. That felt stupid. Okay, is it too late to change my mind? I'm tired already. Oh, it's overwhelming now that I look at it because, you know, you can't just touch one area. You're going to touch it all. It's going to take forever. I got to get a chair out. I'm going to have to get something to sit down in to take breaks. All right. Here we go. I actually got 2 boxes of scraps, but this box of scraps here are typically things I can cut down and use for projects or to fill in gaps or whatever, and they're usually still usable pieces. This one, although I did use some of this when I was doing the repairs on the chicken coop. Sometimes just the right piece, but for most part, this is all sort of like unusable pieces that we'll use for kindling for an outdoor fire. And of course, none of this is pressure treated, it's just plain pine. Tiny pieces, but these are good as little wedges in certain spots, which I did use. And we haven't burned it yet, so if we don't need it, I'll probably just keep this box for any other future projects. I hate that this one sticks out. Let me put it maybe at an angle. Yeah, that's better. I also, on my other video, was showing that I had 4 of these. So I put one away. I'm going to just take all 3 of these because I've got the 4th one on the rain gutter for the chicken coop. But I think I can fit these 3 in with my scrap lumber. Just, I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but until we're done working on things around here, keep them just in case. Copper's not cheap. I'm not going to just give it away. And you can't really rebend it into something else just yet. Maybe I can. Maybe I'll make garden art out of it, but I'm not one to keep a bunch of garbage long term if I don't find a purpose for it. So one of my incentives for cleaning up this garage, besides you should, and it needs it, is somewhere in this corner where, you know, I never collect this much recycling if I can help it. I just try to go once every 2 weeks, but sometimes this happens. And then of course, I let it sit a week longer, knowing I was going to clean this all out in case I had more stuff to go, make my trip worth it. But somewhere in this corner back here, during the time of year, which is winter, when we're not going to do car camping, I'm going to take this handy dandy pop-up changing room. I bought this. It's a pretty good size, but it pops up. You can shower in it. You can put your porta potty in it, and you can change in it. And I'm going to actually set this up in the garage during the winter with infrared lights for an infrared sauna. I've not done it before. I've seen, I think, 1 person that's done it. So it's going to be trial and error. Hope I don't electrocute myself. Hope I don't set myself on fire or the house on fire. Anyway, that's what this is. It's not, I mean, it tucks away. Look how flat it is, right? So it's easy to go camping with. Really nice and sturdy, but I'll be building some type of vertical post to attach the infrared lights to that will sit inside this, so it could easily be taken out, broken down when we don't need it, put back up again, but hopefully it'll just stay up during the winter. So we'll see. More to come on that. Future video. The lone pool noodle. I bought the pool noodle to go over the edge of the coffee table when my grandchildren that were toddlers at the time, not even toddlers, babies and then toddlers, to put over the coffee table. But there's so many uses for a pool noodle. So here I am hoarding up pool noodle because there must be a purpose for it. I'm going to go through some of these Christmas bins too. The lids are dirty, so I'm going to clean them. But I think some of them too have like some greenery, things I'm never going to use again. And I got to make a trip to Goodwill too. So I'm going to try to grab anything that, you know, can go out the door, get it out of here. Oh good, these are cleaning up. I kind of wonder how they got dirty in the first place. Like, it's not just dirt, it's like somebody threw a cup of coffee at it. I'm looking at this going, okay, it looks like somebody threw a cup of coffee on these. And now the more I look at it, I'm like, it's probably mouse pee. It's probably mouse pee. Okay, gross. This stuff here. It's the metal, plastic? Well, okay. So it's got wire and plastic, garland, and back on an old deck I used to put it up, but that is now gone, thank goodness. And I just don't put this fake stuff up anymore. When we do put something up, we'll usually go get the fresh green garland. It's gonna go to Goodwill. Somebody will be happy to get it. Let me go get a bag to put it in. Guess who was just walking into the garage? Let's see if I can see this. Another woolly bear caterpillar. Oh, he's going. So I'm sure he wants to come in for the winter, but we're going to go find a place with a nice leaves and mulch to keep him nice and warm. He's so cute. Yeah, let's go put him someplace safe and warm. Oh, I had to stop and get something to eat, so I just quickly heated up the soup I made the other night that's got white beans, great northern white beans, carrots, cabbage, celery, onion, garlic, vegetable broth. And I got to put my sweater on. I sat still for a minute and cooled down. It's only in the 60s. And I'm in the shade, so if I go out in the sun in the 60s, then I gotta wear a tank top. But this is okay, just sitting still with the breeze coming in from the garage door. Okay, I managed to do it. The sunshades are inside with the mattress. I've got my pop-up changing tent. And I managed to get my bins on the same shelf. The one box on the bottom right that's staying, I was able to put the cook stove on top of that. The little potty is on top of that. And then I've got 2 long bins on the bottom with the 2 shorter bins on top, and then the rest of the bins here. But done. Top of the freezer's empty. These sleds and sleighs that were my grandmother's came down from Maine. Okay, I gotta try to finish picking everything up. I think I did all of the sorting and the trash and donations that I could do in the short time I had, because I have other things I have to move on with, and there'll be more garage purging in the future. So I think in the meantime, though, I'm gonna get some of this stuff put away. I got an extension cord I was using to vacuum the car that I gotta put away, and like I said, I'll just neaten up the bench a little bit. So box cutter. Okay, I just got back from dropping off the donations, and I swung by Lowe's, and lo and behold, I had a plastic bucket. It's a 2.5 quart with a snap-on lid, which is exactly what I'm looking for, and I think it's the perfect amount for what's left in here. Oh my God, that's perfect. Make sure what I'm storing is nice and clean. I don't know why I struggle with extension cords. This one's not too bad, but I swear to God, every single one always gets tangled up. Hoses and extension cords for me. I'm sure it's user error. There's always a kink in them somewhere. Maybe what I'm doing right now, it's the kink in them, I don't know. And with the hoses, they always seem to, the loops drop inside each other, and it's all very exhausting. Here we go. Kind of feel like this should have been like a basic competency in grade school. I think I've got a knot going here. So if you ever need a place to put paper towels, I'm sure somebody's got a much better idea than I do. When you have a limited pegboard space, minimal shelving, and space, is what I did, was I took one of these pegboard brackets. It's just a single one, and had a piece of PVC pipe. I don't even know what the dimensions are on this one. What is it? Is it listed? I don't see it. Anyway, and I just was able to just slide it over this. And then lo and behold, proper size. I just put paper towels over it and it works great. Funny looking thing, but it works. Yeah.